Hi, and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with Autumn with her movie, The Little Death. Let's take a look at the clip.
I've never solo styled. I mean, I've been curious, of course. The way people talk about it, it seems fun. And premium cable makes it look fun. I've started before, but then I get struck with this guilt. This Catholic Mexican guilt. Like, what I'm about to do is really bad.
Autumn, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family. But thank you so much for bringing your film to us, The Little Death. For those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me. And I would say The Little Death is about a woman on a quest for shameless self-pleasure and the bumps along the road and, the treachery along the way.
Well, firstly, thank you for bringing this film to New Filmmakers. It got such a lovely response, and so many people were talking about it yesterday, which was so wonderful. Where did the inspiration come for you in wanting to turn this idea into a project?
Absolutely. Well, initially, I mean, it definitely had a big autobiographical root in growing up religious and having a sort of shame centered around any sort of pleasure.
Yeah.
And then I had kind of crafted it on the page, and I had submitted it as a 3-page challenge to Script Notes. Mm-hmm. So I got, John August and Craig Mazin to talk about vibrators, which is my claim to fame now. I can die happy. But I had initially just wanted to craft this story about my own experience with, feeling guilt around feeling joy or a release, and have felt really grateful for the amount of people who have felt seen through it as well.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And just thank you so much for making this film about, positivity within your own self and your own body, particularly from a female lens as well. We don't see enough of that. It's been done so wrong in the past through a male lens or a male gaze, and it wasn't sexualized. It was self pleasure. And I thought it was so beautiful and unique to see that. Was that something that all the other films that we've seen, there hasn't been a film like yours, and like you did it? Was that something that you were aware of when you wanted to do something that we haven't actually seen before properly?
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I definitely was conscious of, like in that initial scene, that sort of thing where it's like she's essentially she's in a t-shirt and he's like, shirtless with a chain, and like these sorts of things. But also trying not to strawman him too much either. Yeah. Like he's just earnest and doing his best, not trying to like put someone down to raise someone else up either.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like definitely consciously trying to, not being that sort of, the imagery comes to mind of even, like Michael Bay Transformers with like the
exactly.
Like exactly. The interesting notion that women can be people too. Like that women are people, and that women, we all have like these inner workings, and it's not just like this two-dimensional notion of what a woman is, especially within the context of pleasure.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And religion can play a really big part as well, and I think it was really, really nice because I think we're taught so much about how to be a certain way, how to do certain things, and like I just think, as well, I think you're probably helping a lot of people on the way just to open up the conversation, making people not feel alone as well. Let's talk about your actors. Like, my goodness, I mean, they were brilliant, especially your lead, because you got to have a very person that is willing to be, vulnerable and take on that role. How did you bring your cast together?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I feel so grateful to the whole cast. They were, each one of them just fully, I wouldn't have had the same sort of life without them. And all in all, after I had the short script, it came to connecting with Jude, the lead, and co-producing with her, and she's, and this sort of maiden voyage on her end in terms of producing a short. So it was amazing to be able to also have that extra, that second mind in, chugging along with the logistics, but also the creative aspects. And that was really refreshing to be able to like have someone else whose bumping ideas off of you, who's really
Yeah.
devoted to it. And she showed her devotion, I think, on both sides of the camera, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, she's a brilliant actress, by the way. But to take on both of those roles is you know, is really impressive as well. And to have that person working with you, how do you like? 'Cause again, I think it's so important to be sort of, you know, very sensitive to this and have someone that's sensitive as a director, you know, working with an actor in this way. How was your process working with your actors?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I do also want to shout out, like Nina and Bernadette and Ryan were all like just such powerhouses as well, and and it was just such an amazing, you know, moment with each of them to just see what their like first pass was, essentially these first takes down, and just being like, oh my God, this is so above and beyond how I'd even envisioned it. And then from there, just having those discussions with them of like, like with Ryan being like, you do just really mean well. You do actually want to help her, but this is a quest that she has to go on her own.
Yeah.
Or with having that sort of enemies to friends turn with Nina is like, she's like this Rosie the Riveter who also just really just wants the women in her life to be happy, even though she comes across initially as like gruff or, you know, like the sort of classic landlord relationship. But above and beyond certainly by the end. But just seeing, finding these characters that could initially just be in one box and kind of expanding out of that box. Like also with Bernadette, like someone in the healthcare field who has that empathy beyond just you are one client and there's someone else in 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And just having that heart and having these like access points for each of these characters to all be people beyond just a cartoon or a caricature.
Yeah, and you really did that really well, like just the multi-layers of each character and depth they had to their characters. Not always easy to do in a short film, by the way. I mean, it's really, really credit to you.
Thank you.
Was there any challenges making this project? Like either production-wise, set-wise, before, after, what was your experience like?
I actually was thinking about this when we, you know, watching it screened and then like the discussion afterwards a bit, and I feel like it was probably one of the smoother shoots I've had in terms of my own shorts. I mean, we just had to, our house we didn't have for that long, and then we had to also contend with like the hospital set was a bit of a tricky thing, how long to have it and which day to have it, and that sort of, you know, flagging down locations. There's a, you know, with every additional thing, capital T thing that you add to something, there's like another element. But all in all, it absolutely, you know, could have gone worse along each step, and it did just cruise thanks to, you know, our teams and again the location managers and the people who own the home or the set, and Pleasure Chest also just you know, shout out to them. They let us just, you know, walk around in there. They were like,
that's right. Yeah.
We showed up day of, and they said, just turn it off if there's a celebrity in there. And that was literally their only condition.
That's so funny.
They're like, if Brad Pitt's looking for something, you know.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I mean, honestly, it was so nice to, you know, it's such a wonderful program yesterday, and it was, you know, a very packed out and full of, you know, it was nice to hear all the audience reaction going along with the film. How was that experience for you? How has it been putting it out there? We certainly love to have it at NewFilmmakers. How's the festival experience been for you?
Yeah, it's been really a delight. I think I love experiencing it with people who have never seen it before, and seeing where the laughs are. I've had screenings where people like are like gasping or like an audible like, oh no, like, you know. And I love like seeing where those points are for people. I met someone who said that he watched it between his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mom, and they're like Mexican and Catholic.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the experience. And I hope, you know, they came out of it and they were smiling, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm not in trouble. But I just, you know, I love hopefully sparking those conversations within a family or within friends.
And you like to feel like you can open minds up as well, you know, and especially the positive stance that you took on it, which you don't often see on camera. Speaking of which, though, what did you want your audience to take from your film?
Sure thing, yeah. Well, I think my main takeaway is to just like not only seek sort of, seek your pleasure or your joy from external forces.
Yeah.
Find it within yourself, find it by yourself, or
Yeah.
although there is also this underlying current of community and companionship, especially with the superintendent at the end. But
Yeah.
but I think it is that if you do truly want something, it's great to take that initiative and go seek it, find your joy.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's next, Autumn? What are we doing next? Where are we going?
Absolutely. Where are we going? Yeah. I do have another short that's kind of starting a mini festival circuit. It's about the meme of a girlfriend asking their boyfriend, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" And he thinks about it, and he's like, "No, I wouldn't." So it's called Would You, and it's going to be at Beverly Hills Film Fest.
Oh, nice.
And River Run, and TBD others. But
yeah,
so I've got that. Usually, a lot of my shorts start as a riff, and it just goes from there. And then I'm also working on a feature script about an artist and their relationship with happiness and their own talent.
Oh, amazing. Well, listen, I'm ready for that next film as well. Seriously, I mean, you make very, very curious films, so it's really exciting the way you're taking this next. But thank you so much for being part of New Filmmakers, and thank you for the little death, and welcome to the New Filmmakers family. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.